Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you a winner's bracket round one race from Wolfdash 4 between Cass and G's. And I'll pass it over to your commentator for this match, Be Wildebeest. Take it away.
Thanks, Slacker. Yeah, I am Wildebeest. I'll be commentating this, potentially with Cordy. Might be joining in later. This should be a really good race. This is G's and Cass, both really good runners. This is one of the first winners bracket races we've had so far. Most of what we have had so far is pool races. We're just getting started on the actual bracket. And in fact, there's a race later today between Marco and Teabag. The winner of that race will be facing the winner of this race in the next bracket round. And they're off. Oh, there we go. I just needed to refresh. Will dashes get wolfed? I sure hope so. So, G's got a rupee from his rock, but he ignored it. Not only because he's on the French version and doesn't need any rupees, but also because that rupee would disappear from his wallet if he were to get it after he does back in time. I'll note actually that both runners are on French today. The French version is optimally about 2.4 seconds slower than the German version, but it's a little bit easier because you don't need to get rupees. So both runners, who happen to both be French, are playing on the French version. So we see safe bit from both runners. Very nice. Always good to see everyone in a race get back in time first try. Because if you somehow fail it, like we have a save method for it, but if you somehow fail the save method, you're losing 50 seconds or more, which is pretty rough right at the beginning of a run. Yep, no Greg for G's. I mean, it would have been Simi would have stolen it from his wallet anyway. So. Shout out to Simikins, who got sub 3 today. And both runners trying to time a roll right before the little cutscene with the stick there. Just so they can get some extra distance during the cutscene. Oh, all characters in the game are actually called Greg. Little known fact. We see G's going for a few small optimizations in the cave, notably, getting some speed before running through the web, as opposed to Cass standing. Excuse me, right at the web. And then beginning from a standstill afterwards. G's is also, looks like both of them are also trying to reduce lag, and they're doing it in slightly different ways, but both turning the camera. I don't know how effective that actually is, but maybe someone will time it someday. G's is going to get whacked. Cass instead whacked the Boko and saved a little bit of time. G's going for some more lag reduction. And you can see on Cass's side how laggy it is. The trade-off here is, of course, that G's is not taking quite as good a line as he probably would if he were looking where he's going. But he's getting very good rolls. Hitting frame-perfect rolls to preserve speed is especially important in these hilly areas where there are a lot of slopes. So it'll be a good close cage break, assuming my videos are synced. Can't actually tell because G's isn't using a timer. G's unfortunately missing a roll on the long slope up. Very nice. So runners are just 2 seconds apart of cage break. That's a good thing. Because there's basically, there's no important RNG before that point. So if we see a huge divergence, then, you know, something's gone very wrong. Yeah, the Babas are RNG. Yeah, it's not that there's no RNG. There's no significant RNG. Like, that's going to cost you maximum of a second. Oh, Cass getting on the back of Epona. Interesting choice. Say party. We're having a party. So it looks like G's going to have a little bit of trouble with a couple of goats. Ran past the barn. Oh, just the one. Cass had a pretty good spread, but yeah. Yeah, neither of these. You know what? Oh, Cass has another straggler. Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate on both sides. Goats have an element of RNG as well. They always spawn in the same places and facing the same directions every time, but the way they aggro when Link gets near them, I guess not aggro, but react when Link gets near them, varies. Sometimes they react from really close and sometimes only, sometimes from very far away and sometimes only from very close. And the speed at which they run away varies as well. So very difficult to get consistent goats. But they had similar goats times at least, so there's a race. Cass threatening to light Bo's house on fire. Capital D colon. Jeez is a much more civil guest. He'll never threaten to light your house on fire. Oh, both these runners think they already know how to wrestle, not listening to the rules. G's unfortunately failed the one cycle, but got good enough RNG that he still had a quick first phase. Cass actually did get the one cycle, mashing at 12 hertz or higher, roughly. So that's pretty much even things out. they're like 2 or 3 seconds apart. And Cass getting very good bow RNG. That's a perfect bow from Cass. Very nice. So Cass will take the lead, while G's is having a slapping match with Bo. That's a 729, 730. Yeah, 730 boots for Cass, which is very nice for a race. G's coming in not too far behind at a 740, 739. So roughly 10-second difference between the two. And both runners are saving now, because they don't want to do that again. Also, because the save is important for a glitch later. Yep, that's the moral of the story, is just threaten to burn down the house of your adversary and they'll give you as many boots as you want. This is, for legal purposes, I'm going to say that's not real advice. Don't do that. So both Cass and G's are going to be trying to break this box before the cutscene starts. Cass is doing an interesting method of timing it. Didn't quite work out. Looked like the timing method was fine, but just a slightly off position. So Cass had to break the box right after the cutscene, which costs a couple of frames or something. And G's broke the box first, so he can just dash straight to the dig spot. Cass running into the corner. There might be something interesting there. You never know. G's taking a much tighter corner in that little tunnel. There are a lot of little things you can do in sewers to save time. See both runners side hopping off the ledge. And basically just coordinating their movements so that they're never left without a dash. At least not for long. See if Cass is going to stare at Midna's TDs. Nope, not today. G's might. It's a very small time saver. I don't know exactly how much it saves. Yep. So you just talk to Midna from outside her cutscene trigger range, and it sped up the text a little bit, essentially. Cass, oh, that is really unfortunate. So G's will be very slightly in the lead now. So Cass and G's both did a text skip by jumping down past the staircase, but not landing in the water. And then when Cass went back to actually get the Midna jump, he accidentally fell off the side. And then got the text, the kicker. I think G's must have got a one-framer as well, because he's pulled ahead a fair amount. Oh, and now Cass got a one-framer. And there's another one-framer coming up. G's got it. Cass also got it. So there are a lot of places in the game where between one cutscene and another, or text boxes in a cutscene, something like that, there's one frame where you can input something, and you can occasionally avoid the cutscene or text box or whatever's coming after by inputting the right thing in that frame. So, for instance, on these Midna jumps right here, G's just jumped right away instead of... Oh, both of them got it, so you didn't see the difference. But unless you hit that one framer, you're going to be waiting for a second while Midna flies away. Very close race up to Zelda. Runners are just about, I don't know, 3 seconds apart or so. So now we got Sword and Shield skip. Both runners are going to be luring the Bulblin Hugo over to the entrance to Farron, using him to get a big jump over a text trigger that would prevent them from entering Farron, so that they can instead hit the cutscene trigger that does let them enter Farron. And normally you'll see, oh, so G's got significantly better RNG here than Cass. Cass's Hugo was wandering into Orden, whereas Jesus was pretty close by. That's actually, that makes a pretty big difference. Like, Cass lost, I don't know, maybe 5 or more seconds to that. And neither runner is getting any rupees, because they're on French, and they don't need any. Yeah, this trick is pretty difficult. Hopefully we'll see both runners get it first try. Unfortunately, failing this trick costs about 1.5 minutes per attempt. So, and G's going for a very quick one. Very nice. Nice no slide. There are basically two methods of doing this trick, and if you know both of them, you can go for the trick with a lot of setups. And very quick sword and shield skip from both. Very nice. Oh, interesting. That's cool. So G's, I guess, timed and basically coordinated his spin attacks so that he would only hit 2 of the Shadow Beasts, reducing the chances that he'd get some extra hit stun. Because in most cases, whenever you hit an enemy in this game, there's 5 frames of hit stun effect where the game just stops. And if you have to hit multiple enemies, as long as you hit them on the same frame, you'll only get 1 hit stun effect instead of 2. So, nice little optimization there. So I believe both runners, I'd be very surprised if both runners weren't running the same route. They should both be on the empty Lake Hylia route. And so both runners are ignoring the Farron bugs, which in any percent you pretty much would never get that. There are some like beginner routes that do that. And now we're coming up on early Master Sword. Good luck, G's. Good luck, Cat. They'll just be trying to get a super jump off of one of the Shadow Beasts here, using mid to charge, and get up onto this ledge. There's a little bit of RNG involved. They need the right swing. And G's nails it first try. Very nice. And gets good RNG. Cass, unfortunately, getting a bad swing, so couldn't go for that one. And nailed it on the second try. Very good. Well, at the first possible attempt. So, very nice on both runners' parts. Nice quick climb from G's, getting the Skull Kid. I would call it first try. I said second try before, but yeah. Yeah, there you go. Of this pair, G's is the more experienced runner, and you can kind of see it in his lines, just his vectoring from place to place. He's taking a lot tighter curves. Whereas Cass is sometimes going more out into the open, the middle of the path kind of place. And, you know, it's kind of tough to take really good lines in Lost Woods just because there are so many curves. Some runners opt to use the camera and essentially use a claw grip to manipulate the camera while still being able to dash. And it looks really cool in cinematic. I'm not sure, Wabi. I don't know the stats on that. Cass nicely fell down after the third skull kid hit, so he doesn't need to drop down now. And here the runners just need to kill one puppet per phase in order to be able to attack Skull Kid. And we'll be trying to kill only one so that, you know, they don't get extra hit stun effect. Though now that I think about it, so I realized something last night, which is that the timer for Skull Kid blowing his horn again starts when the puppet explodes, not when the puppet is hit. And the amount of time it takes for a puppet to explode is variable. And I think it's just RNG. I'm not totally sure about that, but it's pretty highly variable. So I guess the optimal thing to do, well, not optimal, but the the best idea, if you can, is to hit multiple puppets on the same frame. That way you only get one hit stun, but multiple chances at a fast explosion. Because it's the first puppet exploding that counts. Yeah, and it's a little risky to kill two, because, you know, if you don't get both on the same frame, then you're wasting 5 frames. But still potentially saving more than 5 frames. Wow, this is crazy. Jeez and Cass both got the same puzzle? Whoa. What are the odds? So yeah, G's coming in at a 21-21 Master Sword. That's a very nice time for a race. That's just a very nice time. And Cass just 19 seconds behind at 21:40. Nice to see a close race up to Master Sword. I mean, hopefully it'll be close the whole way through. But so far, looking good. Remember to hydrate, folks. Water your plants. Water your pants. There have been a number of things, Yanis. Yeah, the mid-text skip, or like dropping off the ledge afterwards, was, I think, the biggest mistake. And then, yeah, EMS had an extra swing. He did lose some time in sewers and in rooftops and Sacred Grove just to movement. I was looking at the two at the same time. But that's not huge. It's probably a few seconds. And then Jesus' biggest time loss so far was bow. Cass also had a slightly slower sword and shield skip, and also the Hugo RNG was bad. Yeah. I don't know, something like that. G's pausing for some reason. Yeah, they had similar goats times. I don't remember exactly what it was, like 27, 28, or something like that. G's just had to take a break there. It was actually a TA run. Take a 2-second break. So now everyone's heading to the Forest Temple, which is a pretty big sequence break considering they haven't done the 1ist, 2ist, or 3ist temples yet. And straight to the Forest Temple. And now Jeez could use the midna jumps to cross the purple mist again, but since he can transform now, because he got the Master Sword, he can do this instead, which is a little bit faster. And you can see as he's doing this that the graphics are kind of messed up. Usually when you swing the lantern in the mist, the mist actually dissipates, but we'll be able to see on Cass's screen now. Every time he swings the lantern, there's kind of a ring of darker smoke that's emanating from him. And as long as he stays inside that ring, roughly, he won't void out. Good Shadow Beast fight from Jeez. Getting rough RNG on the first Shadow Beast, but at least those two noticed him. So we'll see on Jeez's screen in just a sec a trick called Back in Time equipped. Basically, Jeez wants to get the boomerang as quickly as possible, and the way to do that is to basically hack yourself in some monkeys instead of actually saving the 4 monkeys that you'd normally have to save to get to Ook. And it's not actually hacking, it's just a glitch. What he's going to do is do Back in Time again, get on the title screen, and then while voiding on the title screen, load the file he saved in Orden. And that's going to wrong warp him into the King Bulblin fight, even though he doesn't really want to... Oh, Cass, unfortunately... So to clip out of bounds and void out, you have to get very near the entrance, and Cass unfortunately hit the load zone. So yeah, Jeez just spawned in the King Bulblin fight and then reset immediately, because he didn't want to fight King Bulblin, he just wanted a flag to be set that is set whenever you start a boss intro cutscene. So he started skipping the cutscene to set the flag and then reset, and the flag is still set. It wasn't properly cleared on reloading a file. And that flag has multiple uses. The one that's relevant here is that it controls how many monkeys you have in the Forest Temple. So Jeez has plenty of monkeys now. I love that on French it says impossible S when you can't skip a cutscene. It's my favorite thing about the French version. Jeez is not going for spider skip. With good RNG, well, with very good RNG, you can actually skip killing both spiders. But with, like, reasonable RNG, but still good, you can skip killing the second one. Both runners, obviously, are going to be intending to kill the first one. Cass having a little bit of trouble with quick spin. Yeah, this would be a pretty bad one for Cass to go for. I wouldn't expect him to. He's going for it. It's not happening. Yeah. Yeah, it's... I see the temptation on that one, but when Nancy... You kind of have to anticipate Nancy's turns. And so, in that case, Nancy was facing exactly away from him, which, you know, looks like a good thing. Superficially, but she had turned that direction like a while before the cutscene started, so right after the cutscene ended, we knew she was going to start turning right away. And because she was facing directly away from Link, really either direction she turned, she would end up facing Link and then would catch him. Probably. Sometimes she only turns a little bit, but that's why that one's a risky case. Yeah, you have to pay attention to when she stops turning before the cutscene. That's relevant. So both runners had to kill Nancy. Cass had a pretty significant time loss of leaving and re-entering the dungeon. And loads in this game are pretty slow, so that was probably, I don't know, 15 seconds. Just a guess. Not too many hops from Ook on either side. I didn't count them, but it was low single-digit number. And yep, 29-12 rang for G's. That's very nice. Ah, G's. So G's is using some newish tech, kind of. He's using a multi-mem card. I don't even know what to call it. He's got a memory card that has multiple memory cards built in. So that he just needs to press a button on the memory card and it switches. Oh, they both are? Are you ahead? Are you watching Cass's stream? And basically that saves a tiny amount of time on menuing every time you have to save. Because you don't have to move the cursor from an existing save file to a new save file. Or if you already have... Oh, yep, they both are. If you already have 3 saves, you don't need to press save and then yes. You just press A once. Oh, got it, yeah. Yeah, that saves, I think the number was 4.5 seconds over the course of the run. It was something like that. It was under 10 seconds over the course of an 90% run. But it is a time save, and we recently voted to explicitly allow it. It was allowed before, but people thought it was questionable, myself included. Geez, unfortunately, hitting the trigger there. This is an oddly precise trick with only splotches to use as visual cues. It's really annoying to fail this trick. It's even more annoying to fail it after the LJA, so Jesus being careful. There he goes. Yeah, he just had to LJA across a Midna trigger that tells him to go back because he hasn't beaten the Forest Temple or Fair and Twilight yet. Nor will he at any point today, probably. Cass doing the exact same thing. Keeping it even, at least. Both runners will have to do this trick at least one more time. If they fail Gorge Void, they'll have to do it 2 more times. Very nice. And Jesus is going to be trying to skip the postman. Doesn't want any mail. This is why he never returns my letters. Cass. So Cass, I don't think jump attacking into that one or B attacking or anything is useful, because that one teleports you somewhere. That might have just been a mistake. He's having a tough time skipping that cutscene, looked like. Yeah, it's taking an extra little second to set up postman skip. So we could see the lead shift here, or the gap widen, or neither of those things. They're coming up on a trick called Gorge Void, which is a 1-frame input, just like those meta jumps earlier. But this one is much more important, because getting it saves about a minute over not getting it. And it is just that frame-perfect input. There is kind of a way of making it more lenient than that, but it costs time, and I don't think either of these runners is going for it. Geez, unfortunately missed it, so we could see Cass take the lead here. Neither Cass nor G is smelling the kids. Good choice. Cass, oh yeah, Cass got some weird RNG there, but it worked out. And Cass gets it. So we'll get to see what it means to get Gorge Void. This means, so when G's failed Gorge Void, he entered a cutscene that forced him to warp back to Farron. And that's really unfortunate routing-wise, because it means that he's going to have to go all the way back to Eldon in order to go to Kakariko, whereas Cass can go there now. Now, the only reason that Gorge Void only costs 1 minute instead of more than that is that Cass, after going to Kakariko, is going to have to come back to hit that cutscene trigger because it gives him something important for the rest of the run. And a nice rupee roll from Cass. Oh, and such long text. This is why French is still slower than German, the rupee text. Well, not just the rupee text. A lot of text is very slow. It's not like there's more text, it's just slower. Very good. Nice gorge skip from Cass. So Cass can go get the Kakariko portal now. And that means that later on, after he goes where Jesus is going, to Lanayru, he's going to be able to just warp straight back here, whereas Jesus is going to have to warp back to Farron and then do rupee roll. A nice gate clip from Jeez. Cass is also going to be running around the King Bulblin trigger here, because he does not want to hit it. It would cost him something like a minute. Really don't want to have much to do with King Bulblin in this category, because we fight him twice. Other than that. So all other things equal, Cass is in the lead now, but you can't really assume all other things are equal. So we'll see when they both get the Elden Vessel. And Cass had just a little bit of trouble with the Shadow Beast fight. They were spread out, but excuse me, still got it first try. Oh, let's see what Jeez is looking at. Oh, it's actually a monster. Look at that. Doesn't often zoom in on the monster. And Cass is now doing what I said before, is running back to hit that trigger. G's very intelligently going for a slower strat here, because the faster strat risks crashing the game. And obviously in a race context that would be very bad, since this is a no reset run. And their last save was about 7 minutes ago. So that would be a huge time loss. Cass's game feed is for... Okay, there we go. Must have been his capture card. So Cass is doing Fair and Escape for the second and final time. Jeez will end up having to do it 3 times. Jeez is also going to try to clip out of bounds here. Very nice. You can see on Jeez's mini-map why he clipped out of bounds. The end of this area is, well, after he rounds this bend, basically a straight line. He can take a straight line there, rather than having to zigzag, as you see on the map. Yeah, well, I thought Cass's game crashed for a second. Would be a weird place to crash. Jeez will be going for another 1-frame text skip. Nice gate clip from Cass. Nice text skip from Jeez. Very good. And a wonderful little break slide from Cass. Very good. We'll hang that one on the fridge. So Cass is now about to be doing all the same stuff that Jeez was just doing. And again, looks like Cass is behind, but that's because he's already gone to Kakariko. Jeez still needs to go there. Cass also going for the crash-averse strat. And the Kargarok is ignoring him. Oh, there we go. Geez, equipping the boomerang as Wolf. The Wolfarang. And Geez will be coming up on his third and final, hopefully, fair and escape. And there's never a reason to do another one. So. Well, Cass comes up on the Gargoyle clip. Cass is not going for the Gargoyle clip. Okay. That'll cost, I think the number I've heard is like 6 seconds. I've never timed it. Under 10 seconds, probably. Oh, I wasn't looking at G's. It sounded like a good Farron escape. He escaped Farron. That's what counts. So G's will now need to skip the postman again. Oh boy. Okay. The bird decided to be nice today. Thought we were gonna have another situation like Anno had. Getting pooped on right after postman skip. DSR says 6. I'm sure someone timed it at some point, so 6 seems reasonable. Yeah, this is looking quite close. Cass should still be ahead by a small amount. Again, all things going well. Because remember, G still has to do the CAC portal fight. That was interesting. I guess G's was trying to aim up a little bit and then decided not to. But still worked. Playing it safe on Rupee Roll. Or on Gorge Skip. Very nice. Good to see both runners get that first try. And here's where our runners are meeting up. They're in the same area now. They can say hi to each other. They're in Cocorico. So Cass is now going to go get the Elden Vessel, and Jeez just has to skip a cutscene, and then he can get it too. It's like a 42, 47 vessel for Cass. Not bad at all. And a 42.57 for Jeez. So after all that, they're 10 seconds apart. That's a good race. Cass will just clip into this well by side hopping. Well clip is a... Oh, Cass pausing as well. Just to make up for Jesus' pause earlier. So let's see how these runners do with basement bugs. Cass is going to have some trouble. Yeah, these bugs, if you don't do it just right, these bugs will get away from you. So G's might catch up here. Yeah, that's a big time save for G's. Oh, Cass still hasn't killed a bug. Okay, G's is ahead now. Cass forgetting to skip a cutscene. So G's can just bonk right away in Malomart. For some reason, I was about to say Mayo Town. Yep, Cass just bonked right away in Mayo Town, and the bug came right to him. Not sure why that works, but it does. Is that a fence hop from G's? Maybe we'll see a tactical bonk from Cass. The tactical bonk! So that was another tactical bonk on G's part, just knocking the upper story bug off of its perch early. Saved a bit of time. Cass unfortunately missed it. Okay, jump attacked onto the counter. Hopefully that second bonk worked. It's kind of weird sometimes. Yeah, it didn't work. I don't know exactly why that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. And yeah, this is why it was good for G's to do that. The bug likes to troll you for a bit after you knock it off. Oh, G's not going for a Keese LJA. One tiny optimization we just saw from G's, we might see from Cass as well, is that when you've killed a bug and it hasn't exploded yet, you can push it a little bit towards where you want to go. This one is a particularly easy one to push just a little bit, because it's right in a corner. LCG is coming up on Bomb House skip now. There's a bug outside the bomb house. You're supposed to hit its trigger, and then it runs into the bomb house. Then you run in after it. But if you kill the bug before it runs into the bomb house, then, well, you'll see what happens. Skips a very long cutscene. So G's doing a very quick wolf setup. That was really, really good. Very nice from G's. And the house just explodes, and you get all the tears. That's it. And then you bonk a couple of times, and then leave. Easy as that. So we'll see Cass going for the human setup, which is about 4 seconds slower, but much safer. Well, a little bit slower when you do that. There you go. Yeah, the wolf setup is pretty precise. So it was really cool to see G's do that so quickly. Oh yeah, and G's is just avoiding the rupees in here. Any non-green rupee will give him text. G's and Cass saying hello to each other in the dig spot. Cass very intelligently waiting until Wolflink turned blue to dig out. Because if Link is not saying dabba-dee dabba-die, then he won't actually collect the tier. It won't count. He would have had to go back in. If Jeez wants to, he could howl here and go get Shield Bash from the Golden Wolf and Orden. Nope, not happening. He would also have to clear Fair and Twilight to do that. And it would be completely pointless. It's a good idea not to do that. Cass unfortunately had to go back down for the tier. The 2B attack strat. Works every time. Yeah, and that seemed like a very clean Twilight for G's. That was a... Wait. No, I must have forgotten his entry time. Oh, it was a 57. Yeah, okay, so that was like a 653. Yeah, that's really nice. Cass, because he didn't run up onto the ledge, he's going to have to deal with all these enemies. But finishes the Twilight. I think the difference between the two runners is still under a minute. Just this morning, I confirmed that the amount of time it takes for this volcanic rock to fall is ultimately RNG, which is unfortunate. So maybe Cass will make up a few frames there. G's is also coming up on the hardest side hop in the entire run. This is a one-framer, but for some reason it's more difficult than every other one-framer, and everybody agrees on this. And he gets it! G's is gaming. Can confirm he is playing the video game. Good question. It was at least 10 frames. I can't remember the exact... Or no, I'm sorry. It was at least 9 frames. That was the range I saw. So not very much. But in the context of this tiny segment, you know, if you're looking at your gold, that can actually make or break a gold. And it's possible it can vary by more than that. And I just didn't see it. Cass also got the side hop. This is the race. It's all downhill from here. Looked like Cass did... Well, I didn't actually see his input display, but... because he didn't sink very far into the water. I assume Cass was holding A when he fell in the water, which prevents Link from sinking very far. Basically, he starts swimming up right away, so you can swim horizontally right away once you reach the surface. Three one frame on the linear vessel segment? There's only one meaningful one. There are, well, I can think of 3 others. One of them doesn't do anything, and the other 2 move you by 1 frame. You know, you get 1 frame of movement. So, basically it doesn't matter. He's not going for the stupid jump, because he's not stupid. I don't know whether the Mallow one loses time. If the Mallow one is after the warp, like after you choose the warp, then no, it doesn't. But I don't know, I don't do that one. Clean like Hylia portal fight from Cass. And G's had a little bit of trouble with the bug, but nothing major. Let's see whether Cass is stupid. Nope, Cass is also not stupid. There's a stupid jump there that saves like half a second or something. And if you fail it, it costs 30 seconds. Oh, geez, presumably just got waterfall side hop. I wasn't looking. I don't know whether that's faster. I've heard that someone at some point tasked it to be like 1 frame faster, but I would not trust that. So, you'll have to time it. They're probably about equal. Jesus, lily pad bugs were not too bad to him. That's nice. See, casket, waterfall, side hop. Very good. And does the extra roll afterwards. Faster to just stop in place, but doesn't cost too much time. Cass's bug just ascending to the heavens. We climb trees, bugs do that. Cass is going to be having a slightly tougher time with the lily pad bugs, but really playing it smart. Not just jump attacking wildly. Because that is a recipe for getting stuck here for a long time. If you ever want to see a really bad lily pad bugs, a really unfortunate lily pad bugs, check out SVA's PB. Which was a really impressive time for the time. And it's just the lily pad bugs are, I think he's there for like 40 seconds. It's really bad. Jeez is now at the most exciting part of the segment. He's going to run straight and then continue running straight. Yep. Still running straight. Oh, thank goodness. Cass was a little bit confused about where he was, so he read the sign. I can't make heads or tails of because I don't speak French, but I'm sure that was really educational for Cass. Jeez is now at the second most fun part of the segment, which is running straight some more. Not quite as fun as the first part. And both runners are tilting their cameras down here to reduce lag a little bit, which is a little bit easier than the lag reduction at the beginning of the run because they just have to dash forwards instead of rolling kind of at an angle. Yep, this is the Wolfdash part of the race. See a fair amount of that in MDH in the desert too. You'll see a lot of runners kind of toggling between the see-down camera and the normal camera, though, just to make sure their lines are straight. Because ultimately, I've never really timed lag stuff, but I feel as though if you're not taking a straight line, then lag reduction matters less than your pathing. Yeah, thank goodness. We didn't see any waves crashing in that Wind Waker race or any wings smashing in the Skyward Sword race. I don't remember what it was. It was wings something. A very nice Castletown bug from G's. Being very careful not to warp away too early. It would take forever to get back to this bug, even with the warp portal. Nice bug management from G's. Got it to land on the land, which makes the bug pop earlier than if it lands on the water. Midna charge should be faster. You probably have more control of where it lands with not a midna charge. But yeah, one of the nice things about midna charging bugs is that it actually doesn't have hit stun, whereas jump attacking does. So that's 5 free frames on the midna charge side. Jeez. Getting some unfortunate RNG on that bug. That bug could just go all over the place. Ooh, but nice. He got the dash cancel off the dock so that he could skip the cutscene midair and not end up ledge grabbing. I hate that ledge grab so much. Like the cutscene tries to time itself so that you get it. And you can only sometimes avoid it. You can avoid it if you're very close to the edge. He's pausing again. Had to take another break. Very quick bathroom break, I assume. And Jesus, facing the camera one direction to make the bug attack him from that direction. The bug will only start attacking if it's on screen. So if you're ever really bored one day, something you can do is start this fight, get the bug spinning around you, and then keep the camera facing away from the bug just as long as you can. And it'll just keep spinning and actually descending into the lake. You can get it pretty far down. Geez, yeah, unfortunately, jump attack the bug slightly too early. If you jump attack the bug and, like, when you are starting to bite it, the bug is clipped into the raft, then you will be knocked off without being able to bite it. But it got the quick cutscene at the end. Or cutscene skip, I guess. We got a 101.40-ish linear for G's, and that is a really nice time. Let's see what Cass gets, but yeah, I believe he's about a minute behind. The gap has... Oh, Cass didn't... Well, okay, no, never mind. That was a weird one. So, Cass had the bug attack from a pretty weird angle that he wasn't prepared for. I guess the angle wasn't really weird. He just wasn't in the right place on the raft, so he was trying to, like, backflip into the water. Somehow made it work, and then the jump attack didn't work, and I didn't really see what happened. Jeez is going to be really careful with his health now. He definitely does not want to die by accident. Oh, no. Well, he's going to have to play it safe for the next few minutes. Yeah, so Cass is almost exactly 1 minute behind G's now. G is running around the water since it slows things down a little bit. And just really juking that shadow, that Howling Stone. Gotta fool it to keep it on its toes. So Cass has an opportunity to do a little bit better than G's here and not take any damage. Oh, shoot. Well, alright, so I gotta admit something. The damage thing was a joke. The runners were trying to take 2 hearts of damage there. Because they need to intentionally death warp pretty soon. And unfortunately, not taking damage there and going into this with 3 hearts, assuming Cass takes damage in the safest way, will cost 16 seconds, 8 seconds per heart. If he opts to take damage during the Shadow Beast fight, it could be a bit faster, but it's kind of tough to do that and still do the Shadow Beast fight well, so I'm not sure whether he'll do that. We'll see on Jesus' side, you're meant to do this Shadow Beast fight as human, but if you get close to the portal like activation area as human, but not quite within it, then you can leave, transform, go back in as wolf, and it'll start. The fight will start. Like normally, if you just entered as wolf, nothing would happen, even after talking to Isa. And this fight is kind of awkward because Jeez needs to kill these guys without Midna on his back, which is not supposed to be possible. But it was, like, a year ago discovered that it is possible. It's just a little awkward. But Jeez nails it. Very nice. Did you get... Oh, no. Jeez landed on a heart, which means he'll lose 8 seconds. And that's... as far as I know, there's no good way to avoid that. It's just going to be RNG. Notable cast getting a notable bonk on that notable sign. Yeah, Jesus, right. The upshot of that trick is that Jesus is now talking to Isa as Wolf, which means that he can warp away after getting the Lent Bomb bag, and through some shenanigans is duping that Lent bomb bag to get a permanent bomb bag and a black rupee. You'll see on his item wheel in just a minute. There it is. Which, after he death warps or save warps, will become filled with bombs. The bomb bag will, not the rupee. The rupee doesn't do anything, actually. And conveniently, there is a death warp for another reason coming up very soon. He's just skipping the cutscene for Plum. Very nice. Saves about 6 seconds. And so now Jesus is just going to die in this minigame, which is also something you're not supposed to be able to do. Though you can actually do it without going out of bounds, I learned last time I was commentating. Or 2 times ago, I think. But yeah, Jesus is doing the fast way, bonking out of bounds so that he can die. Or, right, he got a heart. So now he just has to jump attack. This is where the 8 seconds come from. So dying in this minigame, between beating Lanayru Twilight and getting the Zora armor, makes the game do a weird thing where it puts you back in Lake Hylia without the lake. It's really just on the wrong layer of the area. So Jeez is now in empty Lake Hylia, and he can, from here, enter Lakebed Temple with a pretty nifty setup for a bomb boost. Yeah, so Cass unfortunately hit the cutscene trigger after getting around part of it. We'll see this setup on Jesus' side. This is pretty precise, so he's being very careful with all his movement. There's a 3-frame window to press B, or, well, anything really, to get this bomb boost, and he nails it. Very nice. And Cass also gets the Kargarok out of bounds. Cass will have to jump attack off twice in order to die. Was it last frame? I didn't look. I didn't notice how he fell. Yeah, it saves 6 seconds. So if you dash straight to the cutscene, then Plum... Oh, G's going for some fancy movement. He was going to go for an enemy jump attack. If you dash straight towards it, you have to wait for Plum to descend from the sky. Like, it takes a while. Jeez, this is Purple Friend's revenge. Jeez was going to attack him, so Purple Friend attacked Jeez instead. Jeez is going to be getting rid of his bombs now in that filled bomb bag, because he wants to fill the bomb bag with water bombs instead. So he's got to just waste 29 bombs here and use 1 bomb for a very important purpose. Hopefully. There we go. Cass got the angle. Cass almost blowing himself up. Very nice Lakebed entry, both from Jeez and Cass. Runners are still not too far off each other. I think it's going to be more than a minute now, but not by too much. It's always fun for me seeing how people drop their bombs. Everyone does it a little differently. And G's didn't clank his sword on that LJA. That's really nice. Saves like a second. Yep, bombing all the doors. Gotta chuck a bomb down there, I guess. Just killing the tech type. Didn't actually kill the tech type. Wait, did Cass get hit by Purple Friend as well? Purple Friend's on a roll today. So Jesus is now entering Deku Toad, which he'll be able to start the fight from here because of the trick he did in Forest Temple to get all the monkeys. The same flag. It makes this fight startable from here. And now Jesus will do a cool trick with a bomb. Ah, just missed it. So that trick is really precise. Right at the beginning of the fight, with like 5 well-timed inputs within not very many frames, you can manage to get a bomb in the boomerang into Deku Toad's mouth and skip the tadpole phase. But he got the 1 cycle. It's very nice there. It's got to fit 10 slashes into a somewhat small frame window. The cast did clank there. It's kind of hard to control that. The texture, the collision there is wonky. So hopefully we'll see the quick Deku Toad strat from Cass. I think he goes for it. Cass really taking his time on this LJ. That one, okay. This is another one. People use different visual cues for that, and it makes me nervous. Because falling there sucks. Now Jesus getting these convenient water bombs. See Cass get it? Maybe? Similar mistake to G's. It's a pretty tough trick to do consistently, in my opinion. Lakebed Temple is the one dungeon where we can skip the boss key and still fight the boss. Which is very convenient because the boss key is really far away. All G's needs to do is clip into the bridge, and then he can backflip a little bit and clip into the boss antechamber. You can see there's a hole there in the ground that leads to the boss. For every other boss in the game, the load zone for starting the boss fight is straight from opening the boss door. Whereas here, the boss door just opens to that little antechamber with the hole in it, so we can clip in and just go through the hole. If we were to clip past the other boss doors in the game, there wouldn't be a load zone. The load is tied to actually opening the door. So the reason G's needed water bombs is that he's going to use them to fight Morpheo without the Zora armor. And G's is playing that really smart. That was a really, really smart thing that G's just did. So ideally, what would happen is after you attack the eye, you would pull out a water bomb before the cutscene starts. And if you do that, the swimming with water bombs trick, then you will have the water bomb in your hands, and then once you release it, you will refill your air meter. G's was about to try to do that, but the eye went back into Morpheo really quickly, and he was about to do it. He equipped over the boots, but then he equipped the boots again so that, because he knew he didn't actually have time to pull the bomb. That was really smart, because otherwise he would have had to sink down and potentially lose a lot of time right at the beginning of the fight. What is Morpheo doing? And a good boss key skip from Cass. Cass is bringing the pot down into the Morpheo fight? No, not bringing the pot. G's, this is going to be a rough one from G's. He's going to get sucked up and then go for the last 2 cycles, which is a bit risky because now, you know, if he fails the regrab, he's definitely gonna die. But G's wouldn't fail a regrab. Why would he ever do that? Very good buffer. Nice. Okay. Good Morpheal fight from G's. Definitely lost some time there to an ideal Morpheal fight, but he played that exactly right. Cass had a little bit more time before the eye went back into the mouth, so he had time to pull the water bomb, which is what we're trying to do. Yeah, something you notice about more experienced runners is that even given really bad Morpheal RNG, they'll often be able to make it work. It's like sometimes it's a lot harder than other times, and everyone makes mistakes, of course, but there are a lot of things that are not ideal that can work. And yeah, G's played that really, really well. So we saw Cass, because he was able to pull out a bomb at the end of the first phase, was right up next to Morpheal at the beginning. Is he going to get sucked up? No, okay. Right next to Morpheal at the beginning of the second phase, and had a bomb in his hand so he could refill the air. So he got a quicker first cycle. And a good regrab, nice. Let's say roughly 116, lake bed for G's. That is not too bad. Definitely solid race time. That's only about 3 minutes slower than the fastest lake bed time ever. Well, fastest lake bed time in any percent, I should say. If you're just doing lake bed RTA, you can beat it earlier than that. Yeah, that's the fastest I know of. You know, 113 flat. Oh, did you skip the heart? Yeah, it was really common. Well, I guess it probably is still common. I don't know. It's always there have always been a contingent of runners who didn't get the lake bed heart container, and it used to be that was like not a big deal. Like the thing people are usually most worried about. Geez, unfortunately failing Louise glitch. Maybe we'll see it from Cass. The thing that most people are worried about in terms of health in this run, for a long time, was Palace. In Palace, you can take a lot of damage, and sometimes it's unavoidable. So nice to be safe for that. And when that was the only concern, there were a ton of runners who didn't get that heart container. I feel like there are probably more runners who do get it now, especially with the advent of Stallard Skip. Arbiters is also a place where you can end up taking a lot of damage, and when people go for Stallard Skip, it means they can't get the Stallard heart container, which if you only want one heart container for for Palace, then that's the fastest one to get. G's gonna go for rope skip. That was a really interesting side hop, but he nailed it. G's has modified the way he does that, and that was really interesting. That was a risky strat that saves about 3 seconds. Cass not talking to the cat. I don't know what it had to say. Because the thing about getting a heart container is that it really, like, even the lake bed one only costs 2 or 3 seconds, something like that. So if, for example, oh, Cass unfortunately missed Louise glitch too, just a little camera glitch. If, for example, later in the run, G's were to be low on health in Arbiter's or Palace, and need to, go out of his way to get a heart. If he went 3 seconds out of the way to get a heart, then it's already breaking even with getting a heart container. So, just a kind of a matter of personal preference, just like running on French is. Also, geez, I know this from tasking it just a few days ago. If you move to the side in the water, like when you're going down that kind of river after you pull the chain in sewers, moving to the side doesn't actually cost any time during that. She's gonna... Oh, unfortunately missed it. So G's apparently has been going for this jump without C up recently, which, it's not a crazy precise jump or anything, but the camera's pretty awkward here, so G's is now taking the rope. Really interesting path through the tower. Just kind of got pushed by that bold one. That's true. Now both runners have taken the same number of ropes, or will have taken the same number once Cass catches up. Geez will skip this rope and that rope, and do a nice jump attack there. That was a really early one too. It's good. That jump attack is kind of awkward because there are multiple windows where it'll work without bonking, with like frames where it will bonk in between. And bonking would send you back down to the previous level of the spiral. She's gonna go for a quick bridge cycle here, and he... Oh my god! That was spooky. The bridge turned him when he landed, because the bridge does that sometimes, and then he got a really awkward jump angle, but it still worked. That's what counts. So as Cass finishes up MDH and G's gets ending blow so that he can beat the game. I'm gonna take a break for just a moment. BRB. Don't worry, I came back. So G's presumably just got ending blow. Be very surprised if he didn't. And we'll now be going to Snow Peak. And this time he actually doesn't want to take any damage coming down here. If he does, he will die. Good work. Geez will also now be doing a glitch called Map Glitch. I'm gonna call Midna and open the map on the same frame, choose to warp, and then the warp will be interrupted by Midna. And what that does is disable all load zones and void planes, except for a couple of special ones. Which is really useful here, because Geez doesn't have the reek fish, which is typically needed to get through this blizzard without voiding out. Nor does he even have the fishing rod, which would be needed to get the reek fish. Nor has he beaten Arbiter's Grounds, which is needed to spawn Ashe, well, to raise the mirror, to spawn Ashe, to get the sketch, to get the coral earring, to fish up the reek fish. He's just really underprepared for this. They sure do. Jesus is going to only howl once at this stone because he's not stupid. Like I said, most load zones and void planes are disabled, but the load into the Howling Stone is not. And just entering and exiting the Howling Stone area disables Map Glitch. So that now Geez can dig into this like dig load zone without soft blocking. If he had come here before the Howling Stone, he would have soft blocked and been stuck there forever. She's just LJ'd off a cliff in order to skip the Snow Peak portal messenger fight. He would never need to warp back here anyway, so it saves just 22 seconds to do that. And Cass is also ascending Snow Peak, not too far behind. I think that's still within the 1 to 2 minute range. Oh wait, still got the howl. Probably closer to 2. See if Geez can get on this snowboard from really far away. Nice. So the farther away you get on that snowboard from, the faster you'll be going when you start moving on it. So Geez got a nice start there. Cass will also only howl once at this Howling Stone because he's also not stupid. See? Not stupid. So because Geez didn't do the messenger fight, the fog is still here on the mountain. So he's got to do this snowboarding somewhat blind, but there are still good visual cues for avoiding. And that was spooky. I'm sure he knew exactly what he was doing. Cass shooting the keys, because fuck that keys. Ooh, and Jesus skipping the mini-text here, which saves a very small amount of time. Intelligently getting health. I think Geez does Ladder Freezer cancel. If you go for the optimal route in Snow Peak, then making a mistake and dying on Freezered skip costs a lot of time. So it's nice to go in with a little bit more health. The route through Snow Peak is pretty cool. Jesus, going through this section backwards. He's definitely not supposed to be here yet. And clipping through the floor. And then he's going to do a trick on this ladder to get past the final freezer. That's not a ladder. The ladder, that's that ladder. Get past the final freezer without shooting the cannon at it. Very nice. First try. So Cass is starting a little slower on the snowboard. Slower on the slow board? Yeah. And G's can now get behind this door that the freezer is guarding with a clip, and then open the door from behind. This is what I meant before about load zones. Just because he got behind the door, he didn't enter the Dark Hammer fight. He actually had to open it. So if the door had been locked and he didn't have a key, he still wouldn't have been able to do that. Looks like Jesus is going to go for the bomb strat on Dark Hammer, which saves like 2 seconds over not using a bomb. It's an oddly placed bomb, but it should do the trick. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh no, it was a little too far away. Yeah. Not a big deal. We'll see Cass is not going for the shortcut on snowboarding, which is interesting. Excuse me. Clean snowboarding from Cass. Cass also going to skip the trigger? Nope, not quite. No, Cass didn't void. I don't think Cass voided. Yeah, Cass is about 2 minutes behind. Synced opening the door. Also, G's, just left Snow Peak without getting any rupees again, because it's on the French version. And this is why it seemed like the French version might end up being pretty fast once we figured out that you didn't need any rupees on it, but both runners are going to have to spend 17 seconds later talking to Fire twice. Yeah, I believe this is a pretty good run for Cass, and it definitely could be a PB. G's, I think it's still conceivable G's could PB on this run, but I doubt it's likely. I don't know his exact pace. I also don't know his exact PB, so it also doesn't matter. Cass going for a slightly slower but potentially safer freezer clip setup. Nice. Kind of surprised that angle worked. And G's is climbing this ladder for 18 seconds. That's the same as the number of rupees he has. Wonder if that's a coincidence. Interesting bomb strat from Cass. He hesitated there for a second. Guess that works out. And I'm missing the spin attack, unfortunately. So G's is now heading to the desert. The ball and chain, as I'm sure you've heard if you've ever watched a speedrun of this before, is only strictly required for 2 hits on Zant. Otherwise, we wouldn't get it. But it is also useful in Arbiter's Grounds and on the way to Arbiter's Grounds. So we basically could put that Snow Peak excursion wherever we wanted to. Well, post MDH. Or wait. No, post MDH doesn't matter. Why did we put it late? I don't remember. Oh, right, because we need the claw shot. Duh. Right. Anytime after getting the claw shot is very useful for Snow Peak. It's kind of unfortunate that the claw shot is so useful for Snow Peak, because if it weren't, we could conceivably go to Snow Peak before Lake Bed, and the ball and chain is very comical in the Deku-Toad fight. If you hit the Deku-Toad's tongue with the ball and chain twice, it dies. It'd be a very, very fast fight. Cass now climbing the ladder for 18 seconds. So we'll see G's make use of the ball and chain now. Instead of stealing one of the boars from the Bulblins, he can just use the ball and chain on this pillar. And then clip as Wolf past this one. Technically, you can clip as Wolf past the first one too, but it's much more precise. These will now use Map Glitch a second time. This one is far less important than the first one was. Yeah, if you watch the Hundo TAS, it does clip past the first one instead of stealing the boar. Because Hundo doesn't have the ball and chain yet. I think the clip would be faster even if you did have the ball and chain for TAS. So because G's used Map Glitch, he can now go out of bounds like below the void plane and not void, and that means he can hit the King Bulblin trigger from below to start the fight, which just skips going all the way around and getting the key. Doesn't really save that much time. It's a little bit risky because if he were to die here, he would game over, or sorry, he would soft lock on the game over screen because of Map Glitch. But he didn't. That's how you do it. Yeah, it's one nice thing about races, that you can't just stop. I mean, you can, but, like, don't. Most people don't reset during races. And, you know, even if you have a rough beginning to your run, you can always improve. Yeah, let's... Jesus entered Arbiters at 137.42-ish. We'll see when Cass enters to estimate how far apart they are. I like that column was in the camera. That was great. Good wolf clip from Cass. That was really clean. And a good first room from G's. That room can be devastating if done wrong. Or if you get another one. I think Cass is going to go for a little bit of a setup that G's didn't do. Basically, G's went fast here and risked getting hit by the fire arrow. Cass did not. Cass, okay, that works. There are very few ways you can fail like that and still make it work, and that was one of them. Nicely done. Yeah, well, kind of. I don't know if lenient is the right word. It is more controlled. The rang will stay where you target for a little bit. But as long as you know where the boomerang is when you're pressing A, then it doesn't really matter. Nice Po1 skip from G's, very clean. That trick can give runners some trouble sometimes. So the way this works is you're supposed to get the Po sent from the first Po in the dungeon, but and you need the Po sent in order to get to the second Po, and you need Po's 2, 3, and 4 to get through the Po gate without a rupee slide or cheating. Oh wait, Cass got a 1:40:15, so still roughly a minute 35. I'm sorry, 2 minutes 35 between them. So the gap has widened a bit. But anyway, you can actually get the Po sent from any of the Po's, and there's a way that G's has just done to get to Po 4 before Po 1, or rather without having killed Po 1, which you're not supposed to be able to do. So G's is going to get the Po sent from Po 4, use that to get to Po 2, and then eventually to Po 3, and skip Po 1 altogether. He's doing some RNG manip here in order to get a quick second cycle, and it didn't work. G's does something there that's a little bit different, and Cass had an unfortunate bonk in the sand, where he kind of moves to the side so that he doesn't get stuck in the sand, and I guess that affected it. Very nice second cycle, though. Yep. Good race. Geez, I'll push this block 4 times. No more, no less. I mean, more would be fine. But, if you don't push it 4 times, it doesn't stay in place. And he wants to push it so that he can come back here once he has a small key. Oh, G's and Cass are both in the same room. Say hi to each other, guys. I guess barking counts as saying hi, sure. Let's see Cass's Po 1 skip. Hopefully this is first try. And G's doing the funny strat of transforming while the stairs go down, which, as far as I can tell, is not faster. It's about the same speed as not doing that. Good Po 1 skip from Cass. Yep, have to think about the equip a little bit. He's equipping everything on the item wheel. And not getting auto rolls. Just ain't happening. See, G's just jump attacked that Po before he could actually hit it, which skips a short animation before the Po will become vulnerable. Yeah, G's is ahead by about 2.5 minutes. G's also, it looked like, got the dash away from that Po. There's a 1-framer after each Po text box, during which you can dash, and if you've aligned yourself properly, you can actually dash towards the door, which saves a little bit of time. Yeah, immediate transformation should be faster, very, very slightly. G's unfortunately failed Speed Rat. It's a pretty precise trick that also has some RNG in it. Cass didn't quite do the second cycle the way he meant to, but it worked out. So for reference on the transforming thing, Wolfdash speed in dungeons is 33, and human roll speed, well, for that auto roll it'd actually be 31. It should be. But max roll speed is 32.9, so not a big difference. He's getting very nice RNG. Oh, wait a little longer than he needed to, but he got good RNG on those Stalkin. Managing to kill the Redead. Oh right, of course he's ignoring the rupees. So he's going to want to be careful here with his health. Wolf takes double damage. Oh, okay, that worked out nicely. For anything you get hit by, Wolf takes twice as much damage as human. Aside from, like, multipliers like Zora armor. So, on Jesus' health, he's 3 hits away from dying. 3 hits from anything. But that room can be risky, but beyond that point in the dungeon, it's pretty much a piece of cake, health-wise. Nice dash from Cass after the Potex. So G's getting an 820-ish Podor, which is not a bad time at all. Arbiters is a pretty tough dungeon to speedrun. There are a lot of ways to lose time. Like, a top spinner segment is around 10 minutes, 20 seconds. A little bit more than that. And it's not uncommon for newer runners, like even runners who've been playing for maybe a couple of months. Cass picking up the skull, alas, poor Yorick. Not uncommon for newer runners, even who've been playing for a little bit, to have, like, 13-minute, 14-minute spinner golds. It's pretty tough. But, geez. Nailing the first part of the human movement, unfortunately having a little bit of trouble getting over this ledge. And this just saves a little bit of time over going through this room as Wolf. The upside to... Oh, nice. Unbuffered break slide. That's true. It's one of the longer segments in the run. That's a good point. Monka TOS. Yeah, very clean triple Stalfos room from G's. That's just how he wanted to do it. Cass unfortunately didn't quite manage his dash as well in that room and had to walk at the end for a little while. Cass did not get quite as good RNG on the Stalkin, but it still worked. G's is now entering Death Sword, Monka TOS. And I assume we'll be going for Death Sword skip. I think what G's usually does in races is go for Death Sword skip, some small number of times, and if it's not working out, if he's failing it, then he just kills Death Sword. Hopefully we'll see it first try though. Looks very good. Setup. Wow. Yeah, that one looked like it should work. This trick, depending on... Yeah, okay, so he's just going to kill that sword now. That's an unfortunate time loss. Depending on how you set up that trick, it can have... well, from my small amount of testing, either a 2 or 3 frame window to work, where you release the super jump. Where you can actually get over the little platform without bonking. So, pretty precise trick. There isn't a great visual cue for it. A lot of it is feel. So yeah, it's not too uncommon to see even experienced runners fail that several times in a row. So G's was just heading that off by not going for it a second time. Which in the context of a race is not a bad idea. Cass unfortunately missed the side hop for human movement and is still going for it. I don't remember. I think I timed this at one point, and if you fail that first side hop, I don't think it's actually worth doing the rest of human movement. I might be wrong about that, though. Especially if you're going to transform into Wolf at the end. Cass is going for the old bomb placement route. I don't know if that first bomb is going to work. That one, yeah, he's going to push it off. I don't know if that first bomb actually... okay. I believe we will see G's go for Stallard Skip. I think both runners are going to go for Stallard Skip. But it could be the same deal, like if they fail it once or maybe twice, they just kill Stallard. Purely for the sake of the race, it would definitely be beneficial for G's to just kill Stallard if he fails the skip once, so that he maintains his lead. But I don't know how G's is thinking about that. We'll see. Yeah, Cass is going for Death Sword Skip, and he got stuck. Death Sword did. So Cass just had to do a little setup for the backup there. Hopefully... Okay, yeah, good camera flick. That was a bit early. Cass is going to go for it again. No, killing Death Sword. 2 Death Swords were harmed in the making of this race. And fun fact about Death Sword, if you just keep slashing your sword, if you're just across the room not hitting him, as long as you keep slashing, he'll never get up. So yeah, G is going for Stallard Skip. He totally missed the spine there. And is going to set up his horizontal angle, using Q here. And then set up a vertical angle for a very precise claw shot at the bottom of the stall troop in order to get a claw shot after displacement, moving the stall troop all the way into the corner where the exit is. Finding his notch. Very nice CAD. So now... Okay, G's thought he was going to get hit. I think that was a good play. G's will clip into the wall with a frame-perfect L-slide. Take care of Stallard. Line himself up. We'll probably go rank with Stallard again. Just to be safe. And now he's got a 3-frame window on this bomb boost. He can clip out of bounds past the gate. Oh, did he do it without turnarounds? I didn't notice. Oh, shoot. Alright, so he's got to try that again. Or no, it looks like he's going to be killing Stallard. That was a really clean Stallard skip right up to the very last input. So with that, he's still... Well, if Cass were to start fighting Stallard as soon as he gets into the arena, then he would still have a couple minutes lead. Minute and a half, 2 minutes. However, if Cass gets Stallard skip first try, then that would be very different. Both runners spootzing simultaneously. Yeah, I believe if Cass gets first try Stallard skip, he'll be very close to G's. So the skip optimally saves about 1 minute and 50 seconds. G is doing very well on the quick knockdown. And each attempt, well, it depends on when you fail the trick and how long you spend doing it, like if you failed any of the components of it. if you're just going for the CAD, I believe it's something like 40 seconds per attempt. So you can fail it twice and still save time. Or, I'm sorry, fail it once and still save time on the second attempt. On the third attempt, you're losing a little bit of time. So Cass went for a horizontal angle buffer at the beginning. Cass is doing a pretty different setup. There are a bunch of different setups for Stallard Skip. And there are multiple components to it too, so runners can kind of mix and match what they like. There we go, got the buffer. And let's see the CAD. Nice CAD. Cass could be getting this. Very good. This could be Wrangless, actually. Cass is quick. He's going for it. No, he's not going for it. Okay. I thought he was going for it because he turned left instead of right. He really could have. I think he overestimated how far Stallard had turned. It looks like Cass is probably using a metronome to do this, to time the spawn boost. That... Okay. He almost got hit by the breath there. That was so close. So Cass got first try Stallard Skip, and that means that Cass and G's are very close in the race now. That closed the gap considerably. They were probably about 30 seconds apart now. Really unfortunate arbors for G's, and of course we don't wish ill on anyone's run, but it is exciting to see the race very close like this. Yeah, I know the feeling, Cass. And actually, Cass, having done Stallard Skip, is still going to save a little bit of time as a result of that in the rest of the run. Because he won't have to do silly shenanigans when map warping. So let's see a good early city from G's. This is a pretty simple clip that saves over an hour or something. It saves a ridiculous amount of time. So yeah, G's just had to zoom in a little bit on the map and then zoom back out in order to warp. The game tries not to let you warp after arbiters without raising the mirror. Presumably so that you don't just warp away right after you've beaten the dungeon and not be able to get back to the mirror chamber. But you can get around that with map warping. But because Cass didn't beat Stallard, the game didn't actually try to prevent him from warping. Beating Stallard is what causes that to happen. Oh yeah, so now we'll see the cool French trick that costs time. G's is going to say yes to Fire to fix the cannon without 300 rupees. And Fire will say, what? No. And won't fix his cannon. But then if G's goes and talks to Fire again, then he'll fix the cannon anyway. Whoa, the runners are synced on talking to Fire! Just one's on the second round, one's on the first. That's crazy. Not actually synced anyway, but... Oh yeah, and G, I didn't notice G's exit arbiter's time. It would have been about a 155-ish. 155.30 something. And Cass's was a 156. So both runners are on solid sub-3 pace. Could definitely see sub-3s from both runners. With really, really nice end games. Both runners could get a 254. Really, really nice end games, though. Oh no, they'll be skipping most of the barriers in Hyrule Castle. First couple of rooms from G's. Now transform close to the door and not hit the fan trigger. Don't do it. It's not worth it. G's transformed a little too far away and is having to slowly nudge up to the door. Cass is catching up. Ooh. But yeah, it would have been like a 3-minute time loss if G's had hit that trigger. So you have to be careful. Cass is being very careful with this. He does not want to hit that trigger. But transformed in the right place, so he didn't need to do all the nudging. Looks like both runners will be going for the LJA after the spinner socket. Saves like a second over flash on. Tactical bonk from G's. Bonked on nothing. Very impressive. Oh, Cass unfortunately missed the roll as the spinner cutscene was ending. This is spooky. Okay, made it over. G's now getting a totally unnecessary small key. I don't know why he didn't just skip it. Forehead. Interesting sword pull at the door. Is he going for a jump attack strat here? Whoa. IL strats. Very nice, G's. Most people will see up for that jump. I guess he took out the sword in case he failed by going to the right, so he would do the jump attack back up. That makes sense. Oh, I see. Cass is going for the P-hat method, which is a bit slower. But a safe method. So we've seen the gap between the two runners widen considerably in the past minute or so. G is just playing a bit more cleanly. G's is the world record holder for almost every IL individual level speedrun that we have. All the GameCube ones, anyway. And all that dungeon practice pays off. Let's see how G's handles the fan room. It was a good one. Always fun to watch. It's the auto roll, unfortunately. Goes for the diagonal jump attack. Guess he thought the keys was too close. Very nice. Cass just one room behind. See how Cass handles fan room. Also misses the auto roll. Kind of an awkward auto roll to get. And goes for the boomerang LJ rather than tile worm LJ, and then almost goes for the tile worm LJ too. Going for the Keese LJ. A bit of an awkward room there, unfortunately. But made it through. And Jesus is exiting this room while Cass is entering it. G's going to go for an awkward jump here to skip turning on a fan. Nice two-handed grab. That's just RNG. And then G taking his sword out and then putting it away. We'll see G's go for a skydiving strat here. Get down to her Alphos real quick without using an Uka. Cass having trouble picking up his chicken. Could definitely practice handling your cock, Cass. So G's, because of that jump, is entering our Alphos on pretty low health. He's going to have to be careful not to die attempting our Alphos skip. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially if he uses the setup. He is not using the setup. Just manually aiming it. And, oh my god. That was terrifying. So, if you claw shot the target and then the Aralphos just flies between you so that Link hits the Aralphos like while moving on the claw shot to the target, then you just die. You get damaged. And that would have been so unfortunate. And that was really close to happening. Yeah, G's got, well, I don't know if I should say G's got lucky there. It's more like he almost got very unlucky. And Cass took the Uku down to her Alphos. The jumping strat is kind of new for any percent-ish. People only started going for it pretty recently. There's a much longer history in 100% when you have more health. Cass is going for the buffered setup, and looks like he nails it first try. Very nice. Oh, there we go. Just had to aim a little bit left. Nice aim from G's. G's is now going to be getting the boss key early, which we could already do a while ago, but now we have a method of doing it very early, like 10 seconds earlier, by claw-shotting through this grate. This is a great clip. There he goes. And very intelligently turning a little bit there so he doesn't get Nimzoed. The Helmosaurus was in a very bad place there. Cass now just making his way back to the main room. Cass definitely lost a fair amount of time to G's on the double claw segment. Nice two-hand grab from G's. Nice two-hand grab from G's. The double two-hand grab. G's is going to win just because of the two-hand grabs. No, wait, Cass got one too. Never mind. I don't know what the odds are of a two-handed grab. It might be 50-50, but it doesn't feel like it is. Ooh, very, very quick clip up to the boss key from Cass. Cass also turning. And then hopefully G's will have a clean fan tower. Cass deal with the Helmosaurus and having to take damage here, unfortunately. Tactical bomb. Yeah, it's random, whether you get a one-handed or two-handed grab. I think There are some things that can influence it in some cases, but in general, like these vine claw shots, it's totally random. Good fan tower from G's. Or like, yeah, on these fans, it's totally random. Nice two-handed grab from Cass, what the heck? Cass getting a cinematic camera there, not targeting. Nice one-frame roll from G's. Cass claw-shotted very low on the first grate and was having trouble claw-shotting up to the fan. Should still have time, though. Cass. Alright, Cass is going to have to go for a backup in fan tower. And he missed... Oh, Cass. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, so Cass is going to have to spin around on this fan. And he's thinking about ways to get up a little bit higher, but he can't. So he's just going to have to do a somewhat precise shot here. Oh, he's just going... Yeah, that's... I don't think that was... Ooh, Cass has got to be careful. I've seen anyone die in fan tower before, but it could be happening. Yeah, he was just a little too low on that fan to get anywhere. There we go. So Cass might get some health right before the boss door. There are pots with guaranteed hearts. Might be a good move. Well, doesn't really matter for our rock, I guess. Yeah, unfortunate time loss there. Yeah, exactly. If Cass gets pixeled on the vines, he claw shots the very, very right edge. Then he'll be forced to drop and void and die, which would be bad. Speaking of which, G's just voided, but didn't die, so it wasn't bad. Actually saved a little bit of time in the Argyle fight. Okay, Cass did not get that. Well, Cass did not get the bad thing, I mean. So G's is just going to speed up this phase of the Alphos fight with some flame cancels, sinking down a little bit, and then claw shotting back up to convince Argarok that he doesn't need to spew flame anymore. Cass... Okay, so there's a glitch. There are two glitches associated with this. One... Actually, Cass, you might need to void. So what happened with Cass there is he retracted the claw shot on the same frame that it reached Argarok's tail. And if you do that, then you simply can't claw shot the tail. That happens on any phase of Argarok. It also happens with Argarok's back. Yeah, it's totally avoidable. It's a frame perfect mistake. So, yeah, I don't really know where that puts Cass in the fight. I guess this might be cycle 1 of phase 1 now. Yeah, jeez. Thankfully not actual cool game, though. That would have been worse. So yeah, this is cycle 1 of phase 1. Now Cass has to do the... Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, that is a really unfortunate time loss for Cass. Really bad time to learn about that really obscure glitch. Not too many people know about that. Geez, I wasn't looking at the entire fight, but it looked like pretty clean from what I saw. I don't think you can with more fuel, at least as far as I know. I've never seen it. So yeah, the gap had widened to maybe a little under a minute after Double Claws. Cass's Snafu and Fan Tower widened it a bit more, and then that Argarok trouble made it quite a bit wider, so Geez has a commanding lead in the race now. So G's got the heart container in City, just so that he would have... And Cass, unfortunately, missing the flame cancel as well. Gonna have to be careful here on half a heart. Yeah, G's got the City heart container so that he would be entering Palace with 2 hearts instead of 1. Jump attacking onto the bridge after exiting City costs 2 hearts. Good second flame cancel from Cass, though. Yeah, G's did something there that he knows from ILs, which is that running towards the Twilight for that little dialogue from Midna is actually faster than taking a direct path to the door, just because the camera takes less time to turn. It really doesn't seem that way, but that's... When you're splitting for every room, you notice things like that. Yes, unfortunately missed the 3rd flame cancel. This one takes a while. But Cass finished the fight at the end of Argarok. No more draggy waggy. He's having to go diagonally across the room twice. The least optimal RNG. I mean, if he really wanted to get rid of the RNG in the Phantom Zan fight, he'd do the 1 cycle. Just requires 3 frame perfect inputs. Or, sorry, 2 frame perfect inputs? I think it's 2, actually. It might be 3. I don't remember. Nobody does it, because it's dumb. Oh, coming down from city? I think it's just if you get like one of the first possible frames for your B press. I don't know exactly. I've never gotten frame data on it, but it happens. Very nice boots usage by G's. Using boots on all these jumps just because Link's ground speed is faster than his airspeed in almost all scenarios. So getting to the ground as quickly as possible saves a tiny amount of time. Looks like Cass doesn't go for the single B charge strat. G setting up for the LJA. Nice optimal C up rank pull. Saved, 5 frames. Well, up to 5 frames over just mashing X. Ooh, good RNG for Cass. G's having trouble with spin attacks. Unfortunately common for Twilight Princess speedruns. Backed it up pretty cleanly. Not too stupid a stupid run. G's unfortunately only hit one of the Shadow Beasts with the Rang there, so I'm gonna have to move the second one over. Try not to get hit. Just makes the room awkward. Cass also not getting a spectacular power. It's pretty much the same RNG G's got. See if G's makes it up. Oh, what? Oh, that's a scam. Okay, well, so G's unfortunately got transformed by the fog right after he transformed manually. So he wasn't going to have time to claw shot up and spend the time getting the heart instead, which I guess was good use of that time. Nice claw shot without C up. Cass and G's are both moving fast in Palace so far, it looks like. Nice DF walk from Cass. Here's where the quick spins really matter. Nicely done. That's a good question. When you're walking like this, so okay, when you're walking in like a shop, like Barnes' shop or Beau's house or something, your walking speed is actually lower than normal. So I don't actually know the math there. When you're walking in areas like this, it should save the same amount of time. It's just kind of harder to execute if you're just going to walk, because you can't, like if you're rolling right after a DF walk, then you can release the stick to neutral during the roll, and then you won't have to deal with analog glitch. But if you do a DF walk and continue walking, you'll always have to deal with analog glitch, which can be very awkward. So in that sense, it's more worthwhile when you're rolling. Cass now entering stupid room. Hopefully it will not be very stupid. Cass is playing this kind of safe. Oh! So Cass was trying to make sure that he could get a quick spin out, and took a little bit too long. Got good RNG on the second cycle though. Oh, Cass and Jeeves were just in the same room. Hope they said hi to each other. And Jeeves there sword dropped the soul so that he could roll to the platform instead of running to it while carrying the soul. A little bit faster. Nicely done. Cass having a slightly more awkward second room on the east wing than Jeeves did, though it looks like he won't get transformed, so that's nice. Didn't quite make it up to the claw shot target, though. That's a good question. So, RTA, probably yes. In theory, no. So in theory, you would do a DF walk from that door. Actually, that might not even be true. It might actually be optimal to get to the platform with roll, walk 3 frames, 2 rolls. Anyway, RTA, no one's doing a DF walk there. So, yes. It will save time to get the throw. It'll save 1 frame. Oh, geez. Unfortunately, missed the roll stab by a hair. But yeah, you can sort of drop something during a DF wall. Interesting Baba for G's. Let's hope that's not a precursor for the next Baba. An indicator about how Babas feel about G's today. Oh, if Cass quite grabbed that soul. G's... yeah, Cass didn't quite get that. G's went for a very risky LJ when the boomerang on his buffer frame was not out of bounds. Which was questionable, but it worked out. He's dealing with some Burge business. While Cass executes a very good run straight run. Yes, LJ will save a very small amount of time for G's. But not 0 time. Good aim from G's. Cass almost jumped down in the reverse stupid room. There we go. Very nice. Making me worry. And Cass gets the one frame throw. But steps off of the platform, which fortunately causes it to respawn. Well, better than if it didn't respawn, I guess, but... Not quite managing to stab the Twilight. What, if you accidentally void out with it? Yeah, that would be It does do that if you die with it. He's indicating to us which platform he wants to go to next. Thanks, G's. Cass unfortunately getting transformed in the double soul room. It's hard to avoid that sometimes. That Baba's got incredible reach. And he's gonna get transformed again? He didn't? How did that happen? So that's something I've actually been meaning to time, because the answer is the nipple. The nipple becomes claw-shottable first. Because it is actually bulbous, the target. But that means you're not claw-shotting the very bottom of it, which means it takes longer to get to the ground from there. So I'm not actually sure which one gets you to the ground faster. Cass unfortunately didn't quite spawn the platform before the cutscene. Oh man, Cass. That was so risky. But it worked. Oh yeah, G's looking at the Zant text that takes horrendously long on French. Check this out. We'll just stay there. Yep, there it was. I think it's like 2 extra seconds per text box. In the Zant fight, G's is going to be aiming to pretty much only hit Zant with the last part of a combo on each round. Other hits do deal damage to him, but just not very much. And the last hit of a combo does a lot of damage, so other hits are pretty much negligible. It was a good 1 cycle from G's on that. That's a 2-frame input to end the cycle in 1 combo instead of having to go around again. Cass is going to need a heart here. Yeah, there we go. Otherwise, we would have had to ride the platform back. Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess Cass got the boss key already? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, Cass is going for a slightly easier strat in early platform room. He called Midna, and when he called Midna, the timer, or like all the platforms in the room stopped moving, but the timer counting down to when the Shadow Beasts would fall didn't stop. So the Shadow Beasts fell early relative to where the platform usually is, and that means he has a little bit of extra time to get to the top of the room to make the platform cycle. It is slower than not calling Midna, but if you're not confident in being able to get to the top of the room in time for the cycle, then it is faster than missing the cycle. I hope that comment doesn't mean what I think it means. Oh wait, no. Okay, now I hope it... Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it meant. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So hopefully Cass knows at least that he can, when he's going back up, he doesn't need to go all the way back over to the other Zant head. He can just claw shot up from the third light platform, I guess, without crossing the room. But yeah, that is a big time loss. Cass is not the first person to make that mistake, nor will he be the last, but still don't like to see it. On Jesus' screen, Zant has just died. Peepo sad. Good, Cass knows the backup. Or heard me say that just now. Either way. So yeah, PSA for anyone who is thinking of ever making a mistake in that room. You don't have to go all the way back to the other Zant head if you've already killed it. Cass playing it safe, not going for the LJ. Yeah, that's right, the damn good. Yeah, it's not the most common backup for people to know, but there's a great clip of, I think it was a Wolfdash race. Wolfdash 1 or maybe 2, where Sky and I want to say Adi were commentating a race between Fino and someone. I don't remember who the other person was. And Fino did the exact same thing and died falling from the top. And then Sky on commentary was saying, oh, geez, unfortunately didn't aim the boomerang a little farther right than he meant to, and it bounced back instead of going through the railing. Yeah, so there's this guy commentating is saying, well, Fino, of course, will know that the backup here is to just claw shot up, while Fino, of course, is not doing that and is just riding the platform over. This guy goes, what? Oh, Fino. And it's just a great sound bite. That's how I learned about it. I don't know if I've ever used it. G's tactically bonking into Hyrule Castle. Very tactical. such bonk. Wow. Cass, unfortunately, missing a cycle on Diababa phase. I guess he stopped pressing L a little too early. And oh my god, that was that was terrible RNG. Oh my god. So he got a right spawn, which is already worse than a center spawn, and then Zant bounced all the way to the center of the room. That was terrible. Cass. Cass almost LJing off Zant straight into the lava. I've never seen that one before. And Cass unfortunately missed the one cycle on Dangora phase that G's got. He's getting punished for it. The number of times Zant warps around before becoming vulnerable again is just RNG. I think it's 2 to 4 times. I don't think it's uncapped RNG like Zelda or something, but it is still RNG. Cass equipping the spinner to fight like that phase of Zant. You never know when you're going to need the spinner. Yeah, and Cass is just staying put after that first cycle. I don't know why everyone moves. Most people move. There's probably like a tutorial video on how to do this where the person moves, and that's why everyone does it. And the way that Cass is doing this is the same as the way G's did it. Makes it so that it doesn't matter which of the two heads Zant spawns in, you can deal with either, or the two distant heads. Which isn't a big deal, because he always spawns in the farthest head from Link. Cass taking a moment to equip everything on the item wheel. LG's has a party for bokoblins. See, G's just excuse me, G's just did barrier skip. Congratulations. Let's see if G's goes for one of those one cycles. Oh, unfortunate RNG for Cass. Okay, still worked. Not going for the one cycle, it looks like. Jeez. I don't know how Jeez didn't die there, but he didn't. And Cass unfortunately missing a cycle on Blizzard phase. It's easy to do that by accident. Because the hopping is RNG. It's hard to follow sometimes. Also, threw the ball and chain a little early. There we go. Jeez, get the backflip. He will not, unfortunately. Impossible S. So it's slightly faster to roll back to... Actually, wait a minute. No. Is it slightly faster to roll back when you're using memcard strats? I don't know. You thought which one was faster with memcard swapping? Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Nimzo recently timed it to be half a second-ish faster to roll back than to save warp if you miss the cutscene skip, without memcard swapping. So, if memcard swapping saves half a second, I don't know, it's basically even, it doesn't matter. And Cass just finishing up Palace. Like, I'm sure with the memory card, it's frames different. He's controlled by the Dark Knight. His nuts are just too dark for G's. Argarok deserves it. Yeah, that makes sense, G's. Oh, G's will go for the quick lantern puzzle here. Doing it not the intended way to save 0.7 seconds. And Cass does get Postman Skip. Cass got less mail today than G's did. G's is just so popular. Cass also bonking into the squid in a cutscene. The Aralphos fight is stupid. And oh my god. What the hell? That's ridiculous. Oh, that was interesting. I didn't know the target moved around like that when it went back up. Yeah, the Aralphos RNG is so dumb. I think that one of those attacks, G's could have... Like, there was a moment where the Aralphos was attacking G's, and I think he could have hit the Aralphos there, but he did the wrong kind of slash. Like, he slashed from right to left instead of stabbing. Which I assume was just because the camera was turning, he meant to stab. But still, really dumb RNG. Tactical bonk from Cass. Amazing brake slide from G's. Really, really incredible bonk from G's too. Showing off the collision of Hyrule Castle. That's very funny. Oh, yeah, I don't know what pace he's on. I guess when he enters Zelda, it should be like 5 minutes and 20 seconds from the end. With, you know, good Zelda and good Ganon. So, yeah, either 255 or 256. Again, with everything going really well. Cass not dying to King Bolin. Very nice. No, with a good with a good 2 remaining segments, this is a 55 for G's. They'd both have to be really good, though. It's probably 56. Cass unfortunately missed the backflip as well. Will Cass save warp? Cass is save warping. Using that empty, Nouveau Journal. Seems like a pretty good Zelda for G so far. I think that was cycle 3, and he's on pace for a 7. I might also be wrong, because I never count Zelda cycles. That's not true. I sometimes count Zelda cycles. That was a really nice Zelda for Dreams, actually. I don't know, but the time was good. Yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble with the Dark Knight. Oh, is G's going to go for the backup? No. So, Simi recently alerted people to a backup for this. You can roll stab, actually, or jump attack Beast Cannon's weak spot through his back if he lands facing away like that. Oh, Cass unfortunately missed the torch. Which is just a little bit faster than rolling around him. So, well, I don't know actually whether it's random. I don't know a way to control it, but it's conceivable that it has to do with like where you hit him or when you hit him or something. Cass unfortunately failed the quick lantern puzzle, and is now doing it wrong. Oh no, we've had quite a few lantern puzzle failures this race or this tournament. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you should go back and retime that Zelda G's. That did look really fast. Back from G's. So G's is just 3 auto spins and an A press away from finishing one. Much better Aralphos for Cass. That was... G's had such an unfortunate Aralphos. Wait, how is G's in the waiting room already? He hasn't finished his run yet. What the heck? is GG for G's. 255.50 looks like. Or 255.51 on the race time timer. Nicely done. So that means that G's... Oh, like I said near the beginning of the race, there's a second Wolfdash race going on later today. Marco and Waterproof Teabag racing. And G's will, as the winner of this round, face the winner of that race in the next round. So G's will be racing either Teabag or Marco next. G's, I think, will be joining us for an interview. I don't think... Whoops. I was trying to see whether I could pull G's in from the waiting room, but I accidentally joined the waiting room myself. So Cass... Cass's auto splitter seems to have made a mistake. It already splat for Hyrule. Yeah, I believe Cass is still on PB pace, or PB is at least still possible for Cass. Unfortunately, missing the auto spin, that costs a lot of time. Oh. No, he's not a minute 24 ahead. That's not a correct split. I think. Yeah, no problem. Oh, hey, G.
Hello, bonjour.
GG. How'd you feel?
It was okay. Could do better, but it was nice. 256, 255 without Lord Skip or Gorge Void means a lot. It's nice.
Yeah.
But
No,
that was a cool race. Like,
yeah.
yes, it was insane today.
Yeah. Everything up to City, that was...
Yeah.
We were all on the edges of our seats.
Ah, that's insane. He played so well. I'm so sad for him. Could do a sub 3 in a race.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
Yeah, definitely next time.
Yeah. That's just a really, really bad time to find out about that Argorak thing.
Yeah. But what happened?
He did the thing where he claw-shotted the tail and then retracted the claw shot perfectly.
Okay.
On first phase.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that sucks. Damn.
Have any favorite parts of the run?
Not really. Just solid outside of the two big mistakes, being Gorge Void and Start Skip. The rest was okay. Morpheal, of course, was very bad, but that's fine.
I don't know if you had commentary on, or if you were listening. What the hell? Cass just jumped in place.
Yeah, nice jump. I could have done one wrong.
Commentary for that, but I was just praising you so much for how you handled that Morpheal.
Oh, I'm gonna watch the restream. I love rewatching every race. I can learn a lot.
Yeah, it's always fun to do. But yeah, that Morpheal was really unfortunate, and you just handled it perfectly. That was so good.
Yeah, lucky on the backup.
And then one thing I remember from your run was the bomb house skip. It was super fast.
Yeah, it was clean. Very, very clean.
I also didn't know that you went for the C-upless Argorak cutscene skip coming back from the small key in outside of ILs.
Oh yeah, I keep doing it because there is a lot of things that I got from ILs that I keep doing because it's in my muscle memory now. Yeah. And it's not that risky. If I fail, I have the sword out to do the jump attack backup.
Yeah, that's why I knew to look for you doing that, because you Well, I guess I wasn't expecting that, but I saw that you pulled the sword out at the door, so I was watching what you were doing.
Cass also played very well. The beginning was a bit slower, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the beginning. Like, it felt like just a really solid run for Cass, basically through Arbiters. Like, Cass was ahead between Gorge Void and Vessel. I guess basement bugs.
Yeah, I remember his Elden Twilight put him behind a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of my student. Cass learned at 80% with my French tutorial.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, he played so well. I'm so proud.
Yeah, and Cass is relatively new as well. Really good times. I do find that shows a lot more in endgame. It seems like when people are learning the run, they focus, like, it's definitely easy to go into it thinking, I just need to get all the tricks out of the way, then I just play the dungeons and it's fine. But that's not quite how it works.
Yeah, even I think I am too bad at the end. Like I lose a lot of time on just Hyrule Castle split. Like 20 seconds, that's too much. Right, horseback. Also, I got told that you did a review of your 249 in a race. I need to watch that.
I did a review?
Luzegaard told me that. Maybe not.
No, I got a 249 in one of the races. I didn't review it.
Okay. DXD. Nice horseback. Yeah, was it like did QWERTY could not join? I guess.
I don't know. I actually haven't heard from her, so
okay.
She's all right.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I know this race did get rescheduled 1 or 2 times.
Yes, that's my bad.
So it's possible she was just confused. I don't know. But
yeah.
I mean, no big deal. I can talk about Twilight Princess for a while.
Thank you very much. What's Cass PB again?
30406. So it looks like he can PB by a few seconds.
I think he barely missed it.
Oh, did he?
We shall see.
Well, based on the... yeah, never mind. That's it. Well, that is an unfortunate ending for Cass, but again, Cass did play really well, especially for his experience level, for a good chunk of that run.
Your Cass.
GG, Cass.
Thanks. GG's.
GG, Mick.
I am indeed a good G's student.
Yeah.
You can see my spins.
The spins.
That was a TP any percent run.
It was. And you finished it. And that's what counts in the race.
I'm very salty about what happened in the city.
Yeah, did you know about the claw shot thing?
I mean, I knew, but I didn't remember. Like when it happened, I was like, okay, maybe I'm too close to Orgorok. So I tried a few times, and then I was, just let's void. Maybe there's something going on.
And yeah, I think voiding was the right move.
Well, that would have been a very good run if that didn't happen. I think I'm losing a lot of time after that because I was upset about what happened on Orgorok.
I saw you were not into the run anymore. It was it was clear.
But that's close to PB, and that was a very nice run up to Orgorok, so it's nice.
Yep, and you had the lead between Gorge Void and Elden Vessel.
Yeah, and so that's what happened on Saturday. I closed the stream while I was doing
I I failed the boom boost and just fought Star-Lord.
Oh, okay.
I knew I had a lead on you, so I decided to fight.
That was the best thing to do. 7 seconds.
Close to PB.
Yeah.
And could have sub 3.
I didn't beat Pigeon. I had to PB by 13 seconds. I didn't do it.
Next race. Actually, let's see if I can figure out who your next race is.
Well, it will be the loser of Marco versus Teabag, I think.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's decided later today as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play against the winner of the next race, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that race is going on in 2.5 hours ish.
Nice.
On this channel. Yeah, thanks for racing, guys.
Yeah, and thank you for commentating alone.
Yeah, no problem.
You did a very nice job to fill to fill with your voice all by yourself.
I have done a few of these. Comes with experience. So yeah, everyone who's here, tune in 2 hours and 22 minutes for the next race.
Yeah, we're working on trying to get that race for y'all between Marco and Teabag. But once again, thanks to our runners, Cass and G's, for their performance today. Give them a follow if possible. And also a big thanks to Beast for commentating for 3 hours solo.
Yeah, no biggie.
And thanks for the restream.
Came up or something.
Thanks.
Yep, thanks for having us.
All right, I'm going to pass you over to Nimzo9, who's doing some Twilight Princess 90% practice. So go show them some love as well, and we'll see you next time.
See you.